Welcome again, guys. How are you doing today? Great, good. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. Now, we're going to be talking about how to set trailing stops. In this video, we're going to show you how to set trailing stop. First of all, we need to know what trailing stops are, right? What is trailing stop? Now, trailing stop, as you can see, it means that we are trailing, we are following. Something is following something. So what is following what, right? So when we talk about trailing, you can look at this like a police trailing a thief, meaning that police is following that thief behind, and as that thief moves, then only then will the police move. I repeat, when that thief moves, only then will the police move. Now, with respect to forex trading, what happens is when your trade is in profit, rather, meaning that as your trade moves into profit and continues to move into profit, we need to move something, we need to adjust something. That means that we are following or trailing the current position, the current price. That is when it moves into profit. So as it moves into profit, what are we moving as well? We are moving our stop loss. That's why it's called trailing stop. We move the trailing stop, and as we move that trailing stop, we're moving it into profit. Meaning that as the trade moves maybe 50 pips in profit, you can now move your stop loss from negative and then move it to plus 10. And then when it moves to 90, you can now move your stop loss now to plus 40. What does this mean? This means that only when the trade moves in profit will we also move our stop loss into profit. And that means that we can be locking in profit in this way. It's even possible that we don't even use a take profit, meaning that as it moves, it continues to trend in that direction. All we do is simply trail, but we don't trail too close so that the reversals don't knock us out. So we trail well enough, giving it a good amount of space, and as it continues to move into profit, we continue to lock in profit and so on. So why are we supposed to be using a trailing stop? Very simple. It's a key part of managing our trades. You don't just place trades and forget them, right? You place trades and then you need to manage those trades appropriately, right? So that you don't allow a winner to reverse on you and then turn into a losing trade. Now, when do you use this? As we said earlier, we're going to use it only when your trades are in profit. We can only use this trailing stop when your trades are in profit, because if this trade is going against you, you can't keep on moving your stop loss against you. If not, you're going to be incurring a bigger stop loss, and that is not the way to trade. The way to trade is to ensure that our stop loss, right, is well minimized, and then our take profit, our profit is well maximized. And that's why we need to understand this diagram in front of us, meaning that when the trade is moving into profit, either as you are a buyer or as a seller, you must understand the direction. So when you buy and then the trade is going higher and higher and higher, only then do we move our stop loss higher and higher and higher, right? And that is for buying. And then only when the trade is moving for a sell, when it's moving down, that is lower, it's moving into profit, only then do we move our stop loss down as well. So this diagram is very key. Setting stop loss and take profit over here is very key. You need to understand this, and we've done a video before this, and that video I'm going to put in a link below so that you can click on that link and then rewatch that video on how to set the stop loss and take profit. It will help us out. Now, this is just another way to manage our trades. We have other ways to manage trades, like setting take profit 1, TP1, TP2, TP3, and so on and so forth, right? So now this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to cross over to the MT4 software now, and then we're going to look into how to actually set this trailing stop, the manual way and also the automatic way. So that without further ado, let's cross over to the software now, the MetaTrader 4, and let's look at this so that we see how we're going to be setting this stop loss, and how we're going to be setting not just the stop loss but rather setting the trailing stop. So let's cross over to the MT4 now. Good. So now this is what we have right in front of us. Now if you look very well, we already have a trade in profit. As we said, it's only in profit that we can do this. So as the trade is in profit, we can now start to adjust this stop loss, because as moving in our profit, as moving in profit for us, sorry for the English, we can now start to move the stop loss into more and more profit, meaning that we're going to be locking in profit. Now where the stop loss is, as you can see where the entry is to sell, and it's moving down. Don't forget the diagram that we just showed you explaining when we sell and when we buy for the take profit and then for the stop loss direction. So now based on what we can see here, you'll notice that this stop loss is still at a loss, right? It's still at a position where we can easily, if it comes back against us, we're going to have a loss. So what we can do the manual way, I can decide to move this stop loss from here to this point here, right? That means that I have moved it past the entry and into profit, and then when this trade where it is here, the current price, if it moves lower, I can keep on adjusting the stop loss and so on. So the first thing I can do, since this is the laptop I'm using, I can simply just drag this and drag this to this point here, and before you know it, the stop loss has changed. So now I have manually trailed this trade, and if it moves further down, I can move down again. If it continues to move further down, I can move down. But you can see where the current price is. I will not trail it up to a point that is too close, because if it's too close, it can easily reverse, knock us out, and then continue to go in our favor. And that means that the police was trailing the thief too close, and the thief noticed, and then the thief got away, right? That's the concept that we're going to be using over here. So now let's do something. This is the manual way of how to do it, by dragging and setting. And you can also do this over here by modifying this trade, modify the trade, and then reposition your stop loss, reset your stop loss anyhow you want it. Now we can do this and set the stop loss at maybe 16.96, and that means that we're going to move the stop loss much lower, and click on modify, and you see that it has moved lower. Now with that said, let me show you the automatic way to do this. Let's first of all put it back into a position of loss where it was earlier. Now if I was going to set this the automatic way, what I'll be doing simply is to right click on this trade and then click on trailing stop here, right? So you can see for 30 points we have 35 points, 40 points, all the way to 65 points. By the way, this points, it means 3 pips. 30 points means 3 pips, right? Now for this 30 points to mean 3 pips, that means that if you want to set 30 points, or rather if you want to set 30 pips, what we're going to do is to click on custom here, and where we have this value here, we click on 300. 300 will simply mean 30 pips. Now do you know what this means? This means that we're trailing it 30 pips behind this. That means that once it continues to move in our favor, it continues to move 30 pips behind this. You know, as we're doing it manually before, we're moving it as we pleased. But now you can decide to set 30 pips, which is 300 points, or we can decide to set 500 points, which is 50 pips. By the time we do that and we click on OK, you'll notice that automatically this stop loss is going to move 50 pips just behind this current price. So let's do that now. Let's click on OK and let's see what happens. Okay, that's it. Let's wait for it to adjust itself. Since it's 50, good. So now this is 50 points, 50 pips rather, behind. So once it continues to move, look at it closely. As it moves in our favor, it continues to move in our favor too. That means that it is trailing. Let me adjust this a bit so that you can see it. Only when it moves past that 50 marker, then it continues to move. But if it moves in a reversal manner, your stop loss will not move. It will not, I repeat, your stop loss will not move backwards. It only works in one way, and only when there's profit. So you can see it's reversing, nothing is happening to the stop loss. It's only when this stop loss, or rather it's only when this current price tends to move more and more into profit, that it keeps on adjusting further, right? So let's wait a few seconds and let's see whether this trade moves into profit some more, and we see whether it continues to adjust itself. And if it doesn't, from what is happening now, it might hit the stop loss and then close, right? It might hit the stop loss and then close. So now as we're watching this, We're trying to wait to see whether it will still move in our favor. If the current price moves lower, that means that the stop loss will move lower, following by 50 pips. So I want to believe we understand what is happening here. We can take full advantage of this by managing our trades appropriately, by managing our trades the proper way, right? So what we want to say now is thank you for attending this. Don't forget to watch this video over and over again to understand this better and to know how to set a trailing stop. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button, to hit the like button, and you can also comment below with your questions, with your observations, whatever the case might be. Do what you have to do and we would assist you further. So I want to say thank you for watching this. I was about to say thank you for attending this webinar, because I do run webinars explaining all of this in live, in person. So I want to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe. So thank you everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day and goodbye.